Are we live?
Yeah, we should be now.
Oh,
We should be live now.
guys. Welcome to the show. Jeremy's doing his thing. He is actually going to so he can do all this kind of fun stuff, and I don't have to just talk and make up air. He's gonna make a 30-second countdown,
yeah, for the future. I'll get a countdown
Disney
in there.
Music and stuff.
Yeah, so you don't have to watch
I'm like,
me
that's
do
really
this.
cool.
You don't have to watch me do this because I have to. So what we use is called StreamYard. I'm actually looking at using a new one. Speaking of Lou Mangello from WDW Radio, we tomorrow's episode. We mentioned him.
Speaking because now you've spoke.
Yeah. Well, we did earlier. He uses another software that's amazing. His live streams are incredible, and I just looked it up. It's called Ecamm, and I just didn't have time to put that together this week. We got 2 weeks till the next live stream, and I'll
because we will be in Disney.
We will
eating all the foods and all the wines. Not really, but
no. Well, you're gonna have some.
I'm gonna have a few things.
I'm almost there, guys. Thank you.
But only to work.
All right, now we're good. Welcome to the show, as it says down in the corner. Oh man, it's been a day. This is gonna be
I think this is
fun.
Yeah, I hope so. I think you worked on nothing but Main Street Magic all day today.
I did. Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
For our episode for tonight.
Yeah.
I ran around and did things, got my nails got for food and wine.
I was gonna say.
So they're pretty and they're almost like you Florida fans / Seminole
fans. It does have that look.
They almost have that kind of look, but they are a gold, a nude, and then a red wine, I would say.
You'd have to say Florida State fans.
What'd I say?
We said Florida fans, Seminoles.
Yeah.
Which is confusing.
Not really, if somebody knows.
True.
Florida State Seminoles.
Yeah. But no, speaking of today, it has been crazy. We'll start off and with a little mousekeeping, as we like to call it. First of all, this glows in the dark, which is amazing.
You mean so does mine?
I got a new.
Can we turn off the lights?
I don't think mine's charged enough. Hey Jody. Oh, long time, Jody. It's been a while since we've chatted. Good to see you, friend. Jody is one of our Blue October and Disney friends.
Yep.
And more. I mean, yeah, Jody's the best. Hello, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
Thank you for joining us. Sarah's also the best.
She's so amazing. Sweet. I love her.
We met her through Scott and Scott Atwood in House of Mouse section.
Yes, and she was out in Disney World.
She was
Disneyland. I was very jealous / envious. Not jealous. I don't like that word. Envious. Because I love you, Sarah.
I like the word envious.
Yeah. I don't like jealousness or jealousy or because especially if I love the person.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I.
So are you saying you would be you're envious of people that you like?
Yes.
But you're jealous of people you don't like?
Not that I don't like
somebody
them.
You hated.
I'd be jealous.
Which is it's a very short list. If somebody you hated went to D23 in Disneyland, would you be jealous?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd be mad.
But because Sarah got to go, you're envious.
Yes, because
that makes sense.
That's super cool.
I hope you're never jealous of me.
But you?
Yeah, because that would mean you hate me.
Hi, Liv.
So Jody asked why we're wearing sweaters and long sleeves. It's 97 in Colorado. It is
79 and drizzly here.
It is.
And I also have my house set to 72 at night. And when I say at night, it drops down to 72 around 5 o'clock. And then with the drizzly and the overcast all day today, it sets on 75 during the day. So literally because of the overcast and everything, it's been pretty chilly in my house. So that's why.
Thank you for joining, Liv. Yeah, I'm actually might end up losing this during it because I forget that it's 20 degrees warmer in this office because of all the electronics. But yeah, okay, going back. Let's start over again. I'm telling you, this one's going to be all over the place just because today was crazy. Tomorrow's episode is our favorite sounds from Walt Disney World. And a couple weeks ago, Lou Mangello with WDW Radio, he did a top 10 most iconic sounds of Walt Disney World. So I was like, well, that's a really cool idea. So when it comes to those types of things where we maybe see another podcast or vlog or blog, and they have like an idea that we're like, well, that's pretty cool. We won't watch, read, or listen to it. We'll just kind of take that idea, of course, giving them credit for coming up with it, and then just kind of make it our own. So that's what we did with today's episode. So I saw that Lou did this episode. I'm gonna go listen to it now that we've recorded and hear his top 10 iconic sounds.
Okay.
We went a slightly different route with tomorrow's episode, where it's our overall, like, our favorite sounds throughout Walt Disney World and the 4 parks.
Mm-hmm.
So we broke it down where we pick specific sounds from background ambient sound, a show, a ride, and then some sort of nighttime. So all week, as I was getting ready for this episode tomorrow, I kept changing the way I wanted to do it. Because originally I was like, well, I'll just do what Lou did. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. One, that's just straight up plagiarizing, even if I give him credit. Two,
right,
it's pretty obvious his would be better than ours. So I'm not going to compete with Lou Mangello. So I was like, you know what? So every day I started notes, and I would work on them for 30, 45 minutes, and then I would scrap them because I just didn't like it.
Right.
So then what we ended up doing was coming up with this idea of the 4 parks, the 4 specific sounds, and then laid all that out. But then when Rhonda was gone getting her nails done and other things today, I had to go find all those sounds and then rip them from the internet, edit them down to that specific sound, load them, and then as we recorded, we would do a bit, we would stop, I would insert the sound just to cut down on post production and editing. We would listen to it fresh, then we would record again, and we kept doing that. So an hour episode took us, an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes, plus all the prep time. We finished up like 5 o'clock, and then basically have been working on notes and stuff for the live stream. I don't like, I'm just weird I don't like to do this 4 or 5 days ahead of time. One, more news is going to come about.
Always.
Right? And I don't like to go back to things. I like, if I have a project to do, I like to do it at once. So for example, when I was a freshman in college,
I knew you were going to tell the story.
I was a freshman in college.
Sometimes it pays to be
me.
Well, I hope one day. Wow. No, I mean, like, never mind. I know. No, it pays to. No, you done lost me.
Yeah,
I'm confused now.
All right, so but here's my story real quick. I'll tell you, is my freshman year in college. It pays to
procrastinate.
Yeah, my freshman year in college. In my English class, I went to a community college for the first year, and at the beginning of the semester, he said, "Your major thing this year, it's worth like 80% of your grade," which, first of all, dumb. For this entire semester, you're going to work on it, and you have to come up with. I don't remember the exact like topic or whatever it was, but I decided I was going to do the history of rock and roll. I'm a big fan of music and all. So the night before it was due, I had the entire semester, right? Hey, Amy, entire semester to do it. I did it the night before. I wrote an entire paper, sourced, cited, researched everything in that one night. Going into this paper, I didn't do so well in college, we'll say. I had a 40% in the class. So 80% of the grade, I turned in the paper. I'm not kidding. The professor, who gave me a hard time all semester, handed it back to me, and he literally wrote on it, A plus, plus, plus. And that grade ended up giving me like a 90 in the class for the semester.
Wow.
So
good job, honey.
That's what it's like to be me. But definitely check out tomorrow's episode. We had a lot of fun with it. We had a lot of fun with the sounds.
We did.
Also, coming up soon here, what would just happen, August 8th, happy podcast-iversary.
Oh, yeah. It's like a pod-iversary. What are you talking about?
7 years.
Yep.
Of the Main Street Magic podcast. Our first episode aired on August 8th in 2017 with my friend John and I. And most of you know the story of that. If not, we'll save that for another time again, of how Rhonda got involved. And so the fact that we do 2 episodes a week for an entire year obviously gives you 104 episodes a year. You minus a couple from COVID when we went to 1 a week. So usually each year we have our 100th mile marker, right?
Yep.
And which means that on September 6th, in 2 weeks from tomorrow, we will have our 700th episode. So what are we going to do for that? Well, I don't know yet. Amy, I know. I think Drew and I are probably a lot alike from what we've learned about Drew, though. I have a feeling we're very much alike.
Probably.
So what we're thinking of doing is, I just got this cool little. This is not the Lou Mangello show, but I reached out to Lou and he was nice enough to recommend this product.
Have you played with it?
A little bit. I got to figure out more of it. I think it's actually recording right now. So this is a Zoom H1 digital recorder. It's really cool. It's got 2 mics up here. You can put it on a stand and you can just talk freely like this. Or you can actually input mics. And so I also picked up 2 lavalier mics that we'll be able to put in here, put on our shirts, and we're going to look at recording the episode within the parks next weekend. And so
How many days are we going?
We're there for 3 nights.
Oh, okay. Where are we staying?
I think it's All Star Movies.
Don't know anything.
Well, we started at Drury Inn, and I had booked that a little while ago, just probably a couple months, but I booked Drury Inn, and based on location and all that. But then I was looking at on property rates and stuff, just checking it out. And All Star was about the same price. I think it was a little bit more. But I looked back and I was like, well, we're not taking advantage of the 3 alcoholic beverages that are available at Drury Inn, which is a major advantage if you drink. And so
we're not eating there either.
Right. And we weren't going to eat because of food and wine. So the real benefits weren't that great. So I switched to All Star Movies. But what I think we're going to do is come up with a couple ideas for each of the parks, maybe like our favorite memory from that park. We'll come up with a couple of those categories. We're open to recommendations. And then in each of the 4 parks next weekend, we'll record that portion. So hopefully in the end, we have a 700th episode about kind of some of our favorite things with Disney, our favorite things with memories, which will actually be recorded within each of the 4 parks.
Okay.
So hopefully that'll turn out cool, or it'll turn out like garbage, and then we'll scrap the whole thing and we'll come up with something else. So,
hi, Rob.
That's all of that. Yes. Hello, Rob. Hey, it's Matt. Hey, Matt. Good to see you. Well, see your name in here. All right.
It's so apparently our 700 is 3 days after Amy's birthday, but 3 days before Liv's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, ladies.
Yeah, and 8 days before mine.
Aww.
All us September babies here. Are you ready for some news? Because that's usually what we're kind of really here for, right? So let's talk some news.
Okay.
And first things first, we're actually going to go down the street to Universal Orlando. Resort. Because details were revealed today about Universal Helios Grand Hotel, which will be another Lowe's hotel.
Like where you get the express pass and
hold on.
Okay.
And if you guys haven't watched the live stream,
this
is where I catch Rhonda up basically on the week in news and everything. And so she's hearing this for the first time. Y'all are either hearing it for the first time or you already know it. But we are going to go ahead and talk about the Helios Grand Hotel. Guests staying at Universal Helios Grand Hotel will receive early park admission to enjoy select attractions. Of course, they will also be part of Express Pass. So they will get Express Pass, right? Yeah. So that's coming. I had something else to say about it and I forgot. But let's just see a little bit more about it real quick.
Oh, okay.
Ready? I have two thoughts real quick.
Okay.
One, I saw earlier, I'll probably get it wrong, their tagline, which was genius, was somewhere along the lines of, we're not just a part of Epic Universe, we're in it. So this will have a dedicated entrance directly into Epic Universe. It is literally in the park, basically. Second, I think it's really cool that they were able to get the Sims to create that video, because that's exactly what it looks like. I like the guy walking through the lobby on
guy laughing.
I like the guy walking through the lobby on the phone with the salmon colored shirt and the ripped jeans, like he just, I don't know, it's just like they really put so much detail into that. It's just funny. Like it looked like a dude you just see like walking down the street or whatever, but like it was very, I don't know, it was just funny. So we won't get into this a lot, but that looks ridiculous. I mean, that's going to be a game changer for theme park resorts.
Yeah. And it looked like the Bellagio fountains were out front.
It did look like that. And to me, it looks like it drew some inspiration from Grand Destino. You know what I mean? Like that kind of feel. It's supposed to be Mediterranean themed.
Yeah.
There are going to be standard rooms with king beds or 2 queens.
Okay.
There are going to be suites. One of those is a kid suite that is themed to How to Train Your Dragon, which is pretty cool.
Cute.
And then they will offer club level as well.
Huh?
Another interesting thing. Oh, and first of all, that bar at the top looks into Epic Universe, which is incredible. I mean, I think that place looks ridiculous. I will be very interested to see the costs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another interesting thing that came out today is that Universal has rebranded its hotel categories. So they've rebranded and restructured into 3 different groupings.
Okay.
Top of the line now, which will include Express Pass, is the Signature Collection. That will be Helios, I don't know what to call it, Grand Hotel, Portofino Bay, Hard Rock, Royal Pacific, and Sapphire Falls.
Really?
What have I said?
I've
always said I thought Sapphire Falls should be in that category. I actually thought they should have replaced Royal Pacific with it. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, this place looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I don't even, obviously I want to go to Epic Universe, but I want to do that. I want to stay there.
I want to do that too.
Let's see what else. Okay. So next level down will be Prime Value. Now, Prime Value will include Aventura, the new Stella Nova Resort.
There's a Stella Nova.
And Terra Luna Resort, which are the 2 sister resorts that will be near Epic Universe. We saw them from the convention center. They're the ones that are putting all those colorful tiles on the outside.
Yep.
But it'll be set up in a similar fashion to Endless Summer, where they're like directly next to each other. Then at the bottom level, we have Value Inns and Suites. This is super interesting. And if you ask me, flat out wrong, because Cabana Bay Beach Resort is now in that category. So to me, that almost kind of took a step down. I mean, you know, I know Endless Summer previously, which is also in this Value Inns and Suites category.
Right.
Was a little different, but they're adding that suites onto here because both of those have those family suites in them.
Right.
You know, all the other Universal hotels for the most part have some sort of suite, but I don't think in the accessibility and rates that they have them in Cabana Bay and Endless Summer. So I thought that was pretty interesting. We have a few more rendered concept here, you know, down in the lobby. Again, I mean, you're looking, you know, I'm putting a mouse on the screen that no one can see, but you're literally, if you look through that window, you can see the Kronos Tower and the portal and entryway into Epic Universe at the front of the park. Yeah. This sits at the back of the park. You've got these incredible pools. I mean, you know, this pool, as you saw, almost like wraps around that pool bar. This is the bar at the top of that big dome. You can see the constellations.
Oh, that's cool.
Up top, which just looks absolutely gorgeous. Not to be outdone, Disney released some information today
on
the Island Tower at Disney's Polynesian Villas and Bungalows. There was a question in our we have a big group text, some Disney fans and friends, and was asking, like, you know, do you think it's coincidence that Disney released this today after Epic did? I don't think it's coincidence. You probably agree with me. Like, I don't think this was a calculated effort to release it. I think it was, now maybe they pulled the trigger a little bit early, you know what I mean? And said, well, maybe, but I don't know, because
usually it's the other way around, where Disney will release this and
only
then
bad news though.
Oh.
No, Universal follows Disney for bad news, like price increase on tickets, food, whatever. And Universal slips in underneath. When you're talking about really like amazing grand news like this,
Universal's always out on top.
No. I don't think you see that same comparison. In fact, in my opinion, if this was a calculated effort for Disney to release the Polynesian info tower on the day that they knew Universal was going to release this, I think that person should be fired. Not that we're going to look at some of the Poly stuff and it's great. It doesn't hold a candle to what we just saw with a brand new in park, not just in park, in the newest park.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking, cutting edge, everything. I think it would have been silly for Disney to go, you know what, let's go ahead and release about the Poly Tower. Because honestly, it's going to get outshined. I think, and that's coming from people that love Disney. Mm-hmm. So I think it was coincidental. I think, it wouldn't shock me if Disney had all of this ready to go, and Universal probably the same thing. A lot of these aren't somebody technically sitting there and going, post. Not like me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not me posting a blog or something. A lot of these are calculated, they're scheduled.
Right. I just heard to say, when you schedule our stuff, I see you like normally put it out and it just comes out and you don't have to do anything.
And that is possible what happened with today.
I would think that's exactly how it would go.
Like, this was on a calendar for Disney.
Yeah.
This was on a calendar. They said August 22nd at whatever time it was.
Happy
11
fall.
a.m. Yeah. And, August 22nd at 11 a.m., we're going to release info on the Poly Tower, and then and Universal's doing the same thing. Universal's like, well, August 22nd, with no knowledge of what Disney's doing, is going at 9 a.m. We're going to release the Helios Grand Hotel info. And so I really think that that's how this went. But we did get some info on the Poly Tower. Amy said Disney also sent out a DVC add-on offer to Poly today as well. So again, that is all timed specifically to their plan, not what Universal's doing
100%
down the street. So what did we find out today about the new tower? Right?
Oh, that's pretty.
Beautiful.
Right.
Looks great. That is the concept art. That is not the finished product. But we did get some information on the delicious dining that you can find at Walulu Bar and Grill. Right?
Okay.
So Walulu Bar and Grill will feature spacious indoor and outdoor seating areas and a spectacular bar space with views of Cinderella's castle at Magic Kingdom Park.
Okay.
So,
are they trying to outshine Ohana?
It's not. It's not looking into Epic Universe.
Jeremy.
Which will be recalled. So this casual walk-up pool bar will feature an all-day menu for lunch and dinner that is influenced by the Polynesian Islands' local and indigenous ingredients. There will be specialty coffee, and on-the-go morning pastries will be available for breakfast.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that will be a little bit more along the lines of what a Barcelona lounge looks like. Some grab-and-go pastry, some good coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
But it will be considered the pool bar, which will serve lunch and dinner. Speaking of the pool, Rhonda, you can now, soon, soak up the sun in the new pool and splash area.
That's cute.
Yeah, we've already seen signs of Moana's boat here being installed. You can actually see them in some different photos. Most of those coming from BioReconstruct, who's on Twitter, who is one of the greatest accounts you could ever follow. Little ones will embrace their inner wayfinder at Moana's Voyage, a whimsical new splash area that will feature life-size sculptures of Moana and her iconic canoe from the Walt Disney Animation
Can I play
Studios
in it too?
Film. You might have to get a kid.
Borrow one.
The tower will also be home to Cove Pool, a brand new zero-entry pool offering even more opportunities to relax. So both DVC members and guests staying at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort will be able to experience these new aquatic features. So traditional Poly side, we'll call it. Tower Poly side sounds like the ability to share amenities.
Nice.
One thing that I think they're very smart about doing that they did not at Grand Destino is giving this its own pool and space.
Yeah.
in addition, I really wish that they had done that with Grand Destino.
Yeah.
Now the layout of Grand Destino is very different because it is that entry point. I feel like where you come in to the lobby. It wouldn't have made sense for them to keep El Centro open only to check in guests at the old parts, you know what I mean? And then have a separate lobby for Grand Destino. So this makes sense for them to be separate. I think they're going to feel in some ways like separate properties. This might have a feel of the way Caribbean Beach and Riviera feel, you know what I mean? Which aren't sister resorts or anything,
right.
But, and then finally, you're going to get to take in stunning terrace garden views.
That's not it.
That's not it. I just thought the pool was so cool. Members and guests, keep your ears open for a very important word here.
Oh.
Members and guests staying at the Island Tower Edition will enjoy exclusive access to 4 tropical terrace gardens. Do you notice any special words there? Exclusive. So the way it's making it sound is that you will not have access to these gardens. There's 4 of them without actually staying there. There's going to be
again, like the pool.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe it's Magic Band accessible where they're located. In this photo, it makes it look like this one specifically obviously is not located on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Because of the way you can see the top of the longhouses there and looking across to the Contemporary in the left there. But there's going to be 4 of these, and each garden will feature vibrant artwork, lush foliage, and uniquely themed seating areas. Their designed hideaways will offer families a serene locale to gather and take in the views during the day.
Nice.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really interesting to see this come. It's supposed to open, I believe it's December 6th. It's projected to open, assuming that nothing goes awry and they have to push that back or anything.
That's exciting.
Can't wait to stay there, So we got to look, a couple weeks ago, a month or so ago at the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So super exciting. We got that info.
Yeah.
That's really all the news for this week because the week before was D23.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the other things that came out in the past week was the foodie guide to Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
Yay!
That starts next Thursday, one week from today, August 29th, and it is going to run through November 23rd. We will be there opening weekend. We're going to be there opening day on Thursday. We'll be checking in Thursday, Friday. We'll probably get over there Saturday. And we're going to try as much of the new stuff as we can, and possibly Sunday morning. We'll see. So we're going to try as much of the new stuff as we can, and then we'll report back on that. Instead of going through every last menu, which we will do on our review show, which will come out, I don't know, like let's see if that starts, I think that comes out on the 3rd, the 2nd or 3rd or something, whatever that Tuesday is when that episode will come out. We'll run through all the details. We'll give our tips. We'll talk about entertainment. We'll talk about, they have a new pumpkin scavenger hunt this year for the holiday season. Pluto's Pumpkin Patch is what it'll be.
Cute. I need to change my earring.
So that'll be super cool. And then we'll talk about the whole menus. We'll go through everything. We'll talk about what we tried, what we liked in the past. So what we thought today is we would instead talk about our top 5 favorite booths year after year.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you had the chance to only go into, thank you, Zach. I hope you're talking about us, but you might be talking about WDW Radio because they are the goats. But there is a lot of yummy looking stuff in the foodie guide. But we're going to talk about the 5 that we think, if you were going to go, you said, I have one day at Epcot, and what are the 5 booths I just can't miss? That's what we're going to talk about, right? Okay. But first, let's go ahead over the couple new booths, and we'll just discuss those before we get into our top 5 list.
Okay.
First, new this year is called Macatizers.
Silly.
You know who it sounds like came up with that name? Because I watch way too much of The Kitchen on Food Network. It's Sunny Anderson. This sounds like a name she would come up with, is Macatizers.
That's funny.
Now, this is going to be located in Communicore Hall.
Inside.
Well, it just says Communicore Hall. Outside is technically Communicore Plaza.
Okay.
So I think they may be setting up a food booth within the hall, which is great because you have a bunch of indoor seating. Here you can get, these are all a part of Emil's fromage montage, which is you check off those cheese dishes,
cheese,
and you get a little prize at the end, and actually a dish. So they're going to have a traditional mac and cheese with herbed panko. They're going to have a cheesesteak macaroni and cheese with shaved beef, peppers and onions and breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Then they're going to have a truffle macaroni and cheese. And finally, for the vegetarians out there, the plant-based folks, they're going to have an Impossible chili macaroni and cheese with sour cream and cheddar. If you could only pick one, which one do you think you would
steak
pick?
And cheese? The steak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And what we tend to do with dishes like this is, like, in our opinion, there's no reason to get the regular mac and cheese because it's the base for these others.
Yeah.
So what we'll probably do is get like the cheesesteak one and then the Impossible one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you feel like you can still review the traditional.
Because you can take hopefully, I think, a bite of just the cheese.
Yeah. So strip it away almost, right? So now the truffle, I don't think you could strip away truffle. They're going to probably put truffle oil throughout the mac and cheese.
Possibly.
So if you like truffle, that's cool. If you think it tastes and smells like feet, I wouldn't get that one. All right, let's move on to another new booth. Now this one is going to be, now see, this is interesting. So this is Festival Favorites, and they're still saying Communicore Hall. So Festival Favorites is technically connected within Communicore Hall.
But you have to be outside.
But you're outside to order it. And then, so we'll see how these are set up. But what they're going to have is the Festival Favorites booth. On the left there, you have a kielbasa and potato pierogies with caramelized onions and sour cream. That sounds right up your alley.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you've got on the right, part of Emil's fromage montage. That is not vomit in that bowl. I would have probably readjusted some of the lighting on this one. I would have taken some of the pinkness out of that photograph, right?
Well, I'm assuming it's pimento cheese.
It is. You would be correct because this is barbecue pork rind served with pimento cheese.
Okay. I would have expected it to be a little more orange.
Looked a little.
I think that looked pink. Like,
hey, Scott. Scott. Okay. Do you see what Michelle's doing tonight?
Yes, that looked really cool, and he's behind some velvet rope.
Yeah, he and Chuck Guth.
That's awesome.
Are standing in a little VI or sitting in a VIP section. No, Michelle Atwood is out there doing judging for a bartending competition that they're doing at the Edison.
That's so cool.
Which is just super, super amazing. That could be a whole episode. You're not a senior, Jody. We could go over that. You could make it not a solo trip and just come when we're there and we'll hang out with you. I'll tell you right now, Jody, you got to make it out most likely next April, hopefully, for when Blue October comes back for Garden Rocks. Hopefully maybe you could come out for that one and we can go see that and hang out. Okay. One final brand new booth is the Bramblewood Bites booth.
Okay.
Don't know what that means.
Bramble?
Yeah. So that should be, nope. I don't think I have a photo of this one. My apologies. But it is going to be between World Showcase and Imagination Pavilion. So I'm guessing over somewhere near where the fountains are and where they no longer have sour cream and chive popcorn, right? They're going to have a grilled cider brine pork tenderloin with fennel apple slaw and apple cider gastrique.
That sounds good.
That sounds very fall, very good. They're going to have grilled bison with butternut squash puree, roasted mushrooms, and huckleberry gastrique.
Okay.
And then finally, they're going to have a cast iron roasted Brussels sprouts and root vegetables with dried cranberries, candied pecans, and maple bourbon glaze.
Okay.
That sounds awesome. All those actually sound
that's exciting.
Very, very good. All right. Let's move on to our top 5 booths.
Yes.
Right. And we are going to start.
That we've enjoyed year after
year.
So like some of the stuff we're reading is going to be new this year that we have not tried yet, but they've never done us wrong in the past.
Yeah.
So we will be going back to all of this.
Okay. Yeah. Bartender Bash, and of course, raising money for our friends over at Give Kids the World. That's awesome.
That is great.
Scott, please tell everyone there that we say hello. And then if they're like, I don't know who those people are, then you just go, oh, my bad. All right. So first one that we are going to recommend, which is actually a little bit of a newer booth in the past couple of years. The menu has not changed this year, and I am so very thankful that it is not. We're going to Coastal Eats, right?
Yes!
What do they have at Coastal Eats? Right?
Oh, everything. It is amazing. I mean, what do they have? Everything.
Yeah.
But it is the lobster tail that is back again, and then they have like a shrimp cocktail basically with a couple of shrimp and some cocktail sauce, and it's big giant shrimp.
These are huge shrimp,
and it's a
two biters.
Decent size lobster tail
It
too.
is. Yeah, it is. We ate both of these multiple times last year.
We did,
and absolutely loved them. The flavors are incredible. They're very Florida. Like they're grilling the lobster right there in front of you, and it has that taste a little bit of like a charcoal, and just the outdoors in Florida. It's all very fresh. It's all very clean. Now, if you don't like seafood, this obviously isn't
or if you cannot eat,
or if you can't eat it,
which is sad.
So we won't be visiting with our friend Steve. We're not trying to kill him a second time. Hopefully they don't have a Japanese snack mix booth here. All right, next up, year after year, going way back, is Flavors from Fire menu. Or Flavors from Fire. This will be near a restaurant, or I'm sorry, refreshment station hosted by Coca-Cola. So this is usually on that walkway that you're coming from, the walkway down into World Showcase. When you cut that over towards Test Track, Guardians, and all of that, then it's usually right there on the right side. And it's usually amazing year after year. This is where they started with that Impossible slider.
Oh yeah.
And they tend to update it a little bit each year. So this year, as you can see on the left, they've got the Steakhouse Blended Burger. This is beef and wild mushroom slider with truffle brie cheese fondue, arugula, and truffle potato chips on a sesame seed bun.
See, that sounds amazing to me.
It does, but this will be interesting because that is a lot of strong flavors. Wild mushroom, brie cheese, arugula, truffle. Like those are 4 usually stars of their own show. You know what I mean? But so the fact they're putting them all in one,
I bet they're gonna be great.
It'll be a little bit interesting. All right. They also now this year have the Impossible Montreal style burger slider with cheddar cheese and tomato jam on a sesame seed bun. That's the one that gets me most excited. That is new this year.
Oh, and that's the one pictured because the other one is not.
You're right. That is the one with the tomato jam. I love a good tomato jam. Why are you laughing at that?
Because you jam. You always usually do that.
That's a Stein family thing. I don't even know where it came from.
I don't either.
It's something I either had to do with I think Beat Street or Breakin'. We used to watch those breakdancing movies back in the day. On the right here, we have a smoked corned beef with house-made potato chips, cheese curds, pickled onions, and beer cheese fondue. We really enjoyed this last year. I believe, and they'll correct me if I'm wrong because they're both watching, we had this one with Chuck and Amy. Because
I think so.
I remember standing there getting this and us really enjoying this dish. Like it was very, very good. Also, if you go back real quick to Coastal Eats, they do have a Boyd and Blair pomegranate cotter is one of their alcoholic beverages that in the past we've enjoyed.
Yes, I say that's been the same too, right?
Yeah, that's usually the same.
It's very good.
And then here at Flavors of Fire, I will no longer be having it, but I will recommend it for people that want to be a little bit adventurous with their alcoholic beverages because they have the swine brine. Remember, this is Jim Beam bourbon, apple, cinnamon cider, lemon juice, and Dijon mustard. Now, it doesn't say new, but they've changed this because it used to not have
drink it now if it had because of the Dijon mustard?
No. It used to not have Dijon, and it used to have a piggy wing.
Yes, it did.
The beverage.
Yeah, it did.
So it was literally this little pork like wing that they stuck down there in the beverage, and then you could eat that after you drank it. And the flavors went together very well. All right, next up, year after year, or festival after festival, it's the best booth over at Mexico, right?
Oh yeah, but they always switch it up, and then it's sad because as much as you love it, it's pretty much going to be new this year.
It is. Everything's new.
Which is
everything's new except for the Mexican craft beer is the only thing that returns festival after festival. But what I'm okay with them changing as much as we love it is that they always replace it with something that's equally as good, right?
Yeah.
So this year we have a tostada de camarons, which is on the left, tempura battered shrimp atop a fried corn tortilla with guacamole, cabbage, chipotle aioli, diced mango, and chili lime powder.
That sounds very, very good.
Sounds
and it looks pretty.
And it looks like we're going to get 2, right?
Probably, because it's probably small.
Yeah. You're a big fan of chicken flautas, right?
Yes.
Little rolled, deep fried.
Yep.
They've got a flauta de barbacoa.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, so we got fried tortillas filled with barbacoa beef topped with salsa verde, crema mexicana, and queso fresco.
Nice. Very nice.
That sounds great.
Yes, it does.
And then finally, dessert. We got a pan de elote, traditional Mexican cornbread topped with chocolate sauce and queso fresco.
That sounds interesting.
It does. Do you think that someone might provide us with one?
Because of your hat.
Multiple times that we've gone here, right? Yeah.
When we wear our Be Nice to Cast members gear, I will call it now. We do. They just love it, and then they come and usually give us a little dessert.
They do. They always have. Yeah, a couple times now.
Amy,
gluten-free. That's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Amy even said that she lost it Dijon mustard, because I started to say that would be good for Amy too. But
not with that.
Not with
Dijon
mustard in it. And
yeah.
I ain't trying that. Sorry. But Chuck would.
Chuck might. Yeah. Fraser, get on it, man. You got to let us know what it's like. Okay. They're margaritas. New margaritas, which you probably will have to try. Mango Sunrise Margarita with his Dos Hombres Mezcal, Centennial Tequila, mango puree, and black currant liquor with a chili lime salt rim. That actually sounds very, very delicious.
They scare me because we have gotten them, and I mean, I never knew that you did have a problem. And I understand you not wanting to throw away drinks, but they'd be gross, and you would drink the whole thing. That
was more of a financial decision.
Was it?
Decision.
Was it?
Little bit. I was just trying to do my part.
Uh-huh.
But then they also have a poblano margarita. Now you might want this because you like jalapeno margaritas.
I do.
This is going to have tequila blanco, corn whiskey, lime juice, and Ancho Reyes Verde Chili Poblano liqueur with a salt rim.
Okay.
That sounds really interesting. I want you to at least just take a taste. And then if you want to pour the rest out or give it to someone, then you can do that. You just can't give it to me. That's all. All right. Next up. Where's this, Rhonda? Where could this be? Never changing.
Canada, eh?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You got to go.
It's the same. It's just a little taste of, oh my gosh, the restaurant.
Lucelia, yeah.
Thank you. The soup's fantastic. Wait till it's cooler, and then eat the steak first. It's so good. It's great. I wish they had the risotto.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
This is a food and wine staple.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I would say that this booth and these two dishes are probably the most famous, food and wine throughout the year, and it's never changing, which I'm okay with.
Yeah,
because you want this year after year.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I wish they would do is I wish they would always have a third option that does change and rotate every festival or every year,
because they don't even have a dessert, do they?
No, they don't.
It's
it's literally these
two items,
and they're killing it. So I understand where they're like, why are we going to reinvent the wheel? This is one of the most popular booths year after year.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense. And then there you can get a Cabernet Sauvignon, or you can get the Collective Arts Brewing Audio Visual Lager. I don't know what that means. I didn't even mention taste. You hear the beer? That'd be good. Hear the beer. Our Audio Visual Lager. See the beer. Hear the beer.
Taste the beer.
Be the
beer.
Be the beer at Canada. That's what we're all about. All right. Next up, we are going to move on to. There's not a picture of this one because it wasn't included in the foodie guide. And I think that's what happened earlier. But we're going to go to Australia, right?
Oh yeah.
This is over near Disney Traders.
Mm-hmm.
They have a grilled bushberry spice shrimp skewer with the sweet and sour vegetables and coconut chili sauce. This is new this year, but every year they have some sort of this take on a grilled bushberry spiced shrimp skewer. So each year, a couple of the flavors just change a little bit. Iran is not being rude. Lacey is starting gymnastics tonight. She's actually going for like a test?
No, it was a class.
It was a class. So we'll see if she likes it or she's signed up now.
I think she signed up.
Doing while
I have to check, but
okay. But yeah, so that's why Ron is on the phone because she's literally a couple miles down the road, and we just have to make sure that we can pick her up and all that stuff, so she doesn't have to live there. They also have year after year now the roasted lamb chop with mint pesto and crushed salt and vinegar, potato, chips. Do you want to talk about this one? A little history on this for anyone who's not maybe familiar with the show or just started listening more recently, I guess.
Well, this will be why we will tell you that if we have something bad, if we have something that we don't particularly like, we will try it again. Mm-hmm. Because we came out to Food and Wine Fest and I was super excited about this lamb chop. It looked amazing. It was fantastic. Like cooked and everything. But our first one, it just didn't. Jeremy hated it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was cooked well. Like it was smaller. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy did definitely feel like it was unfortunately bag of Lay's potato chips. And
they did change the word because now they're straight up calling them vinegar potato chips. Remember, they used to call them potato crumbles, mm-hmm. which was literally the leftover bottom of the bag of chips.
Well, that's what he thought.
Is what it was like. So
it was super weird.
And I made fun of this dish for a full year.
He did, and
I put it through the ringer.
But I remember, I think did we only get one year?
Yeah.
And then we tried because they brought it back.
We went back the year and you were like, let's try it again.
I was like, let's try it again. And we had the most amazing piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was nice and bigger. It was fantastic that then now every year I get one at least.
Yeah. And they're great every year now. That combination of lamb and mint pesto, which is a very well known.
And I know somebody was saying something about the risotto. And I know it is at one of the festivals.
I believe there's one at, if I remember, because there is one at Festival of the Arts. You are right about that.
Yes.
I believe that there was one at a mushroom specific one at Flower and Garden to take on that, freshness of the vegetables and all that stuff. So
I just won at every festival. That's
amazing. But going back to something like that lamb chop, I will say this with the festivals. First of all, if you go opening day or opening weekend, be patient. Be patient with the fact that sometimes they're still figuring some things out. Last year, mm-hmm. When Swirling Showcase was first opening, for that festival, like they didn't open the first day or two. They had to get some things figured out. So you'll see some of that. You'll sometimes see some longer waits because of it.
And sometimes
you'll see some inconsistent food.
Right. And going back to the risotto, like I know mm-hmm. it. And part of the risotto was really good. And then one was a little crunchy. So I was like, I think this was the bottom of but it was still good to me.
Oh, the flavors were
still the bottom of the barrel. And I was like, well, you know what? But I'm going to give it another chance.
Yeah.
And I did. And it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, this is where like we will. And then because of Australia and because Jeremy made fun of it for the entire year and because we tried it again and it was fantastic, that is what we do now. Besides waiting a whole year, we'll wait a few days.
Yeah, we'll wait a few days or a
weeks.
month or whatever. Yep.
I mean, it's nice. We are going to be back quite a bit, I believe.
We will be making several visits,
which I'm excited about. So not only will we get to eat the stuff, and then if we don't like it, we can always try it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if we love it, we get to try it again and be happy to try it again.
Yeah, hopefully. One more tip with Food and Wine Festival, any of the festivals really, is if there is a dish that contains pork belly, it can be hit or miss on individual dishes. So sometimes depending on how that piece of pork belly I feel like is cut or the fat to kind of like meat ratio, it's not always completely consistent. So that's one I would definitely say from our experience, if you get a dish that has pork belly, and you don't love the way that maybe the pork belly is prepared or it's too fatty or whatever it may be, try it again for sure. Yeah. Most likely when you try it again, that piece will be good. Now, downside to that is you could get a pork belly dish that you absolutely love. Mm-hmm. So you go back and get another one and it's not quite up to par. So I would just say watch for pork belly. It's one of the things I've not seen consistency, the way that I see consistency with the way that they prepare seafood.
Yeah, at
these festivals, scallops and shrimp, particularly scallops, they do very, very, very well. So let's see. Liv says, I thought that said flatus at first. Flautus. What would a flatus be, Liv? It could be something medical. Ooh, I hope
possibly.
Okay. Those are our top fives.
Yeah.
Right? You got to do them. Let's save something a little fun for last here. One, normally I would say in my top five is Flavors of America over in the American Adventure.
Right.
Going way back is where I fell in love with their lobster roll that they used to have. I would say on average, I would eat 2 to 3 a trip. In 1 year, I probably ate a good dozen or so over the course of the festival.
1 year I got one and I took one bite.
Weird.
And it was fishy tasting in my mouth. And I spit it out.
Something
and then
else was going on there, I think.
Couldn't.
Yeah. Because they replaced it and you didn't want to eat it. And I ate it and it was great.
They did. They did replace it. And he ate it. And I was like, I can't. Like, I already had that, like, nauseous feeling in my, like, I didn't even swallow it, but just the aroma in my mouth, I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
And then he actually, the next time it was like PTSD where it came back into my, and I'm like, I can't. But I think one other time we went and I was like, let me just have a bite. And it helped me because I took a bite and it was back to like no fishy and it was fine. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So usually we love this year after year, but they have switched everything up this year. It is all new. I like the menu items. We'll talk about them here in a second and show you some pictures. I like the menu items. I wish that instead of wiping out everything that they usually have of Flavors of America, I wish they would have made another new booth with this. Let's keep Flavors of America, and then let's create a brand new booth. And you know what we could call it? The Hot Dog House, because all they're serving there is hot dogs. So that's the other thing. It's turned into, other than this freshly baked chocolate pudding cake with a bourbon caramel, which is new. Sounds amazing. We will definitely eat that. Everything else on the menu is 4 different hot dogs.
There's 3 posted.
Right. Well, they could only fit 4 pictures on this.
So they left a hot dog off.
They left a hot dog off of the photo. But here's what we got, right? So we have a New York style all beef hot dog with sauerkraut, onion, tomato sauce, and spicy mustard and a brioche bun.
That I would eat.
Okay, you would eat that one.
Yep.
I would not.
Right.
I don't want to eat the Chicago style all beef hot dog, which has tomato, dill. Now you would like this: dill pickle, pickled sport pepper, diced onions, yellow mustard, and Chicago green relish in a poppy seed bun.
I don't know.
Okay. They also have a Carolina style all beef hot dog. This one I like. Well, I'll see if they can 86 one of the things on here. This is wrapped in bacon. I'm sorry. This one is a hot dog with chili, coleslaw, and yellow mustard in a brioche bun. So if I can have them just sans mustard, I would love just this as a chili dog with a little bit of coleslaw on top. I think that sounds really, really good. And then finally, we have a Southwest style all beef hot dog wrapped in bacon. It's got warm pinto beans, tomatoes, jalapenos, avocado crema, and queso fresca in a French roll. I think that one sounds
weird.
Great. Well, I can do that one if you want to do the New York style all beef one to start.
Okay.
So I do think those sound good. I wish this was a different booth. Like, bring the lobster roll back or do the char grilled oysters or something. You know what I mean? I will say though, especially when you get down to that French roll, Southwest style one, this roll is unbelievable. Yeah. This is the same roll they used on the Chicago lobster. Beef sandwich. This is the one they used on that Chicago beef sandwich in the past. I think it was here last year. And this roll is amazing.
Okay.
If you got one day, you got one trip, you like the sound of our 5, you know what? You even want some hot dogs. What is one booth that if you have one day, now we only go because we love you guys and we want to research. We want to bring you everything. Where do you not go?
Italy. Don't go to Italy.
Go to Italy, y'all. All right, let's see what kind
only go there for the whatever
dessert
prosecco,
usually.
or the
beverage,
and then but not even the booths for the beverage. They have like a festival over by that where you can get shots and
you're talking about the one where you got the spritzer that time, that cherry spritzer thing.
So good.
Yeah. All right, you ready to see what kind of fresh hell they've come up with this year?
Jeremy, it's a family show.
What do you think this is on the left? This is from the Italian booth, by the way.
So I'm gonna say those are fried pasta, probably.
Okay.
With a meat marinara sauce, and they're probably calling it nachos of some sort, but maybe pachos. Would that be stupid? Pasta nachos?
That's actually a really good idea.
Oh, okay.
Like
Was I wrong?
Like my breakfast Paco, which you serve breakfast taco ingredients in a pancake as the shell. You're pretty much 100% on point, other than calling them pachos. This is their Italian style nachos.
Ah,
that is a homemade beef ragu.
Okay, supposedly.
It's probably not.
It's
pasta chips.
Yeah.
Tomato sauce, dried ricotta cheese.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
It won't be good.
Because if folks right
what
now,
if it is?
Listen, if folks right now are going, well, guys, that sounds great. That looks great. It's not. Like it never is.
Never is.
I can pretty much
tell really you does look good, and we've tasted it, and it's not.
I know. Yeah, even Sarah was like, oh, Italy.
I know.
Italy, right? So in addition to that,
I started to say, what's the next thing? That looks like
we've got a
mascarpone cheesecake.
We have one more savory dish.
Oh.
We have a polpatine toscane, beef meatballs, rosemary focaccia, and pomodoro sauce. This is going to be new, and I can tell you exactly what it's going to look like because it is so similar to the one they had last year, which was that huge bready focaccia, a dab of sauce that came out of a can. Like, I don't even think they're pulling sauce out of jars. Like, they're not even getting classy with it. They're just pulling them out of cans, right? Don't you think?
Probably.
Do you have to go get a child or anything?
No, but she wants me to see her. She's sweet.
Okay. We'll wrap up here very, very soon. Yeah, tell her you'll be on your way here soon. Most expensive booth in Italy is the most. First of all, y'all, if you can make your way to Lafayette, Georgia.
Lafayette,
Georgia.
Not Lafayette.
No, not Lafayette.
Lafayette is the one in Illinois. I don't remember.
I'm sure there's plenty of them.
Amy knows.
We went to this honeybee festival with Chuck and Amy.
It was so cool.
It was so cool.
That's where I got my favorite Stitch hat.
You sure did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really cool. Like, it's amazing. At that honeybee festival, we had so much fun there. Like, it's there's so much food. There's like crafts, art. So anyway, get yourself out to Lafayette. All right. So we've got that. And then finally, the dessert this year is a vanilla cheesecake, whipped cream, and fresh strawberry sauce.
See, that'll be good.
You can't ruin that.
They always, even the cannoli though, was really good last year.
Yeah.
Because it was crispy and the inside.
That was the peanut butter cannoli.
It was really, really good.
And love that. So first Saturday in June for the honeybee festival. I do have a question, Amy. Why on earth would they put it in June? There has to be some reason. It is hot. even up in Lafayette. It's a bit warm. That to me seems like a fall festival.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I understand like or go back to like when Flower and Garden's happening. Go in the spring if you're talking about bees and honeybees. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's gonna wrap it up for this week's live stream.
You can take that off the thing.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry guys. You probably want to see us. At least you want to see Rhonda. Let me take that off of there. Thank you, babe. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for this week. There will not be a live show next week because we will be heading down.
We'll be live in the park.
Yeah.
But not well,
we will. We'll be live streaming from the parks. Because we switched a lot up, really in the past couple months, with no longer doing our Patreon group of Wonderland Crew. So what we used to do with all the festivals is live stream every single dish that we try into the Wonderland Crew Patreon group. Now that we've decided to do away with that because we want to bring this to all of y'all, we will live stream all those dishes here in the Main Street Magic community. So we don't really have like a schedule per se of like, we'll be here at this time.
Oh, right.
But if you have your notifications turned on, then you can see when we're going live. You can kind of be a part of that as we taste and try everything. And that's always a lot of fun. Again, I think we're staying at All-Star Movies. I know it's an All-Star. I'm just not sure which one. Amy actually, as my travel advisor, could probably tell me. She's the one that booked it. But yeah, so we'll be there. We're going to be doing Epcot. We are doing a meetup on that Friday evening at Everglazed Donuts because I want to do that chicken. So this is partially selfish of me. I want to do that chicken donut sandwich that they have.
All right.
So we're going to do that from 6 to 8 p.m. Next Friday, the August 30th. If you want to come out, if you're in the area, come out, hang out for a little bit. I don't think I told you where we're having dinner Saturday night with our wonderful friends over at Vacation Grocery Delivery. I gave them several choices, but I don't know if it's because they've only been there once or they've only been there once and it was only with us. So the memories are the best. We're going to Summer House.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
I know.
I've been wanting to get back to Summer House. And so, yes, we're going to go to Summer House for dinner Saturday.
Nice.
At some point, we need to get over to Character Warehouse. Maybe we try one of the other ones. We don't go to the one we normally go to, and see with that 20% off, because that's going to end next weekend for pass holders.
Okay.
So if we want to check that out. Yep. But yeah, tune in here. I mean, an Everglades meetup is pretty cool, Sarah, but it's not D23 in Disneyland cool. Right.
And I can bring you a, oh, well, no, she's not.
Yeah. She didn't live there. So
I'm all like, I can bring you a donut.
You could freeze it. It's, let's end this with one of the most random facts ever about Rhonda. What, it's not a head and it's not any sort of human body part. What do we have in our freezer in our house that isn't ours technically?
Oh, the cake?
Yes.
Oh, I'm like, what? Oh yeah, it's coming up soon. I'll have to unfrost it. I'll have to ask my mommy.
Yeah, I'll let excuse me. I'll let Rhonda tell the story real quick. Like, my throat's so dry from talking so much.
Drink some of your drink.
It's my Nojito, my blueberry Nojito.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons that Rhonda is the best. Like, seriously. This is why people love Rhonda. This is why I love Rhonda, because she cares about people more than most people I know. And in this type of situation, I mean, plenty of times you think so much more of other people than yourself. Oh, yeah. And I know everybody appreciates that. And it's stories like this. It's things like you giving Lacey's friend Cassidy $20 this morning cash because she drives Lacey to the same school that she's going to. It's not very far out of her way. And it's understandable that her best friend would pick her up. We're not saying it's required or you expect it, but most people would just shrug that off as, oh, it's a best friend. Their families are best friends. I've known Rob my entire life, her dad, and people would just write that off and go, that's really cool. Nope. Rhonda says, well, I'm gonna give her $20 because she's taking my daughter, and says Starbucks on me or something. Right. Yeah, she's got to pay for gas,
Still takes gas.
I mean, Rhonda just looks out and takes care of people all the time. She's been taking care of me for 20 years. So, but you can go ahead and say, why do we have somebody else's wedding cake in our freezer? Why is that, Rhonda?
Well, because my friend across the street, she's one of my best friends too, and she just wasn't going to because keep the cake. All right,
that was ridiculous.
Sorry. Let me go back. Let me back up. When you get married, the tradition is the top of the cake or whatever, you keep some of it, and on your year anniversary.
Tradition, do you know?
I don't know.
Amy
might know.
Please, yeah.
But you keep it, and then on the year anniversary, you open it up and you frost it and you eat it. A lot of people, unfortunately, have said when they've eaten it, it's disgusting and blah, blah, blah.
Is it supposed to bring good luck or something to the marriage?
Sure.
Like, hey, you made it a year. You didn't kill each other.
Yeah.
You're still married. Let's put a little
Chuck said it's a Southern
icing
thing
on the cake. Yeah, Chuck did say it's a Southern thing. That makes sense because I'd never heard of this growing up in Maryland.
So
I'd never been married before.
And they're not from here. But I took it and I said, give it to me. And my mommy taught me how to do it. And literally our year anniversary, me and Jeremy, we opened it up and let it defrost, and it tasted like we just bought it from
Publix cake.
It was amazing.
Best cake.
It was amazing. And I have a feeling the way we did it. And once I call my mommy and go, all right, what do I do? Remind me of how I get it out. So, Sarah, I could technically
I was going to say, that's why you could get something. You could get some donuts.
I could get some donuts.
And then you can bring her to her at the next House of Mouse.
Uh-huh.
Right? But it was so funny. We're here at this wedding. And Rhonda's so worried about the cake top, and she's like asking the people who work there, like, what can I wrap this in? She's literally calling her mom in the middle of this reception and all. And Claire's like, what are you doing? The bride. And Ron's like, well, you have to save this and you put it in your freezer. She's like, I'm not putting that in my freezer. She's like, I'm not putting it in my freezer. Rhonda's like, okay, I'll put it in my freezer. And
I'm like, you have to do this.
And you know that on their 1 year anniversary, she is not going to come knocking on the door asking for the top of her cake to defrost. You're going to have to be proactive in that situation.
I'm going to have to
make them eat cake. Right?
I know.
She'll eat it. Is that Marie Antoinette said, let them eat cake?
I don't know.
Okay. Here's the lowdown from
Amy.
Who is a travel advisor and a Southern tradition history buff.
Mm-hmm.
She said, for some newlyweds, I know you guys can read this, but for some newlyweds, celebrating their first anniversary means eating a helping of their preserved wedding cake together. The cake freezing ritual stems from a 19th century convention in which partners save the top tier for their first child's christening, with some believing it to be an omen of good luck.
Uh-huh.
I gotta say, man, worked for us, right? So far. I mean, it's not over, but so far so good, right? I mean, we're coming up on 19 years next April. So I'd say the cake is working. I'm excited to eat that one.
Do you want to go with me to see
I do want to go with you to see her. So
all right,
we gotta go pick up our daughter. We gotta go watch her flip and twirl around and do some gymnastics. No live stream next weekend, as we said, but the week after
there'll be lives from the parks.
So stay tuned as always, and we will see you guys real soon. Bye.